Welcome one and all. Step right up and get your tickets for another moment in gaming history. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, or if you're new here, welcome officially to the channel. This is a series where I go into various different moments in video game history, and today I want to talk about not a piece of software or system, but the humble CRT. That's right, while many people grew up not using one of these days, they are responsible for making the very medium we enjoy today possible. So let's take a step back and look at the origins of the humble CRT, how it was developed, what the games were like before it, and how it changed and enabled the very genre we know and love today. Before we go too deep into the modern CRT, let's talk about the origins of the CRT and kind of how it functions. You see, cathode rays are the basis of a CRT and were discovered by Julius Plücker and Johann Wilhelm Hittorf. Hittorf observed that some unknown rays were emitted from a cathode that would cast shadows on a glowing wall of the tube, indicating that they were traveling in straight lines. In 1890, yeah, you heard that properly, Arthur Schuster demonstrated that these rays could be deflected with electromagnetic fields. And later scientists would show that they could be manipulated with magnetic fields as well. Then in 1897, all of this research would be put together into the first CRT known as the Braun tube, which was invented by a German physicist named Ferdinand Braun. But how does a TV really work? When was it widely adopted? And why is it so important to gaming and the world as a whole? Let's take a look. The CRT, or cathode ray tube, is essentially a vacuum tube containing one or more electron guns, which, as you would imagine, emit electron beams. These can then be manipulated by things like electric and magnetic fields to display an image on a phosphorescent screen. In CRT television sets and computer monitors, the entire front area of the tube is scanned repeatedly and systematically scanned in a fixed pattern known as a raster. A raster scan divides an image into strips known as scan lines, commonly horizontal, that are transmitted via an analog signal. This may sound archaic by today's standards, but this is often what gave early games the look and feel that they had. In fact, the term video game is in part defined by the technology that enabled this. It continued to dominate the medium in all manner of devices, only to be replaced in the late 90s to early 2000s with LCD technology, which was thinner, lighter weight, and had brighter colors. This change from CRT to LCD didn't come without some issues. You see, it caused problems with early light gun games that would commonly blink the screen and draw a white box where the player was aiming at. If that matched the location of the object, the console would score a hit. That's why players would often cheat light gun games by simply pointing the gun at a permanent light source, like a light bulb, to continuously score hits. This kind of raster scanning on the console basically stopped working at the point that CRTs moved away from, as LCDs didn't have the same delay or scanning type. On top of these issues, they also emit no IR light that the guns can read, which causes it to fail or register the delay, causing a miss more times than not. This brings us to the other quandary with modern TVs: delay. Now, this part gets a bit technical, but you guys seem to like that on my channel, so let's get technical. Yeah, I was channeling my inner Darkwing Duck on that one, so sue me. Look, CRTs create light on the screen using electron beams and phosphorus. Like we talked about, the beam hits the phosphorus and it glows. Most of the modern phosphorus was intended to have a low persistence. What this means is that it has to be refreshed more often or the screen will flicker. This is done intentionally to allow the image to change faster, with most screens having a refresh rate of 90 Hz and above. What this means in more layman terms is that if the beam isn't hitting it, it isn't there, so the change is near instantaneous. LCDs, on the other hand, have a longer persistence, around 10 seconds or so, after which the image fades. Because of this, they don't rely on natural dissipation. They actually set the voltage of the new value higher than its desired value. This lets it hit the color faster, cutting the delay from 20 to 50 milliseconds to 1 to 10 milliseconds. The reason this works is because it hits the color as it cruises up to the one at the higher voltage, but never gets there as another instruction comes in using a similar method. In a sense, An LCD is always being told the wrong color so that it hits the right color faster. So basically, we built an entire technology that we constantly lie to so we get a good result. Weird. There's no denying the influence of the CRT and what it did not only for video games, but for monitors, computers, and everything else. Most of our modern technology uses some form of display, which all started with CRT TVs. It very much enabled video games and much of our modern technology. However, what do you guys think of this one? Do you think it's a cool moment in gaming history? How many CRTs do you actually still have? Was any of this new to you at all, or did you already know it? Let me know in the comments. For now though, thank you so much for spending part of your day with me. I really do appreciate it. If I could ask you for one more favor, please leave this video a like, and if you haven't, consider subscribing. It really does help me out. For now though, thank you once again, and until next time, happy gaming.